Okay, so we always start with genealogy here on Testimony Thursday with Ernisa B. So exactly, where were you born?
I was born in Seoul, Korea, and I was adopted when I had just turned 6. My real father died from hard labor, and that's all it said. And I grew up in a one-room house and started working in the fields as early as I could walk. So after I got adopted, I grew up on a farm in Minnesota, which I really appreciate all the experience there. It has set great morals for me. And then I moved to St. Louis and lived there for 30 years.
Oh, that's excellent. Now we got to go back to Seoul Korea. What did you do in those fields as a little girl? Able, just you said as you were able to just walk.
I don't have.
That's like 1 year old.
I don't have a lot of memories. I feel like I suppressed a lot because of all the trauma that I dealt with, and so a lot of my stories have been passed on to me because I don't directly remember them, but I do remember going out in the fields, picking up sticks. I carried the skills of being able to weed gardens at a very, very young age, and knowing the difference between the baby carrots, the small things, and the weeds. So, yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And you said hard labor is what your father
Yes.
passed from?
Yes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Well, back then, the lifespan was only mid-40s. So, yes, because I grew up in poverty. We didn't have insurance. And I do believe that he did die from hard labor. So I'm just very grateful that I've had the opportunity of living such a better life and being adopted at such a young age. So
what did adoption look like for you? How did that even come into play?
So crazy. My parents, they picked me out of a book. And if you saw the picture of me when I was young, I looked like that girl who did not want anything. I didn't want to have anything to do with anybody. And they chose me. And God set that path for them, which I'm incredibly grateful for the opportunity to live a better life, and such a better life. Because back in Korea, it's very common for them to give up the girls and keep the boys.
Oh, wow. Why is that, do you believe?
Because it's a saving grace, really. Because if I stayed there, I do truly feel that I would have lived such a harder life. The boys, they work, and I mean, they can do a lot more, and I feel like that's why they keep the boys for war and for the hard labor, and give up the girls, which like I said, I'm very grateful for.
So that's a part of the government. Now, what's the difference between South Korea and North Korea? Can you let our audience know?
I am not very cultured because I grew up in Minnesota. And believe it or not, my parents, they tried keeping me exposed to the culture, and I wanted nothing to do with it. So I find that pretty interesting. So North Korea, it's very bad. People don't have rights. And even South Korea, they give you more opportunity and freedom to for a better life and better culture, more opportunities as far as businesses and thriving. So I don't really know a whole lot of the details. People ask me if I want to go back, and if I really truly had that space that needed to be filled, but my life is so full with my family here, and I'm just very grateful